What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more of The Cure. And we're returning to Pornography, 1982. Thank you once again to Philip for providing the deluxe edition of the album. And we're up to The Hanging Garden, which inevitably makes me think of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the legendary engineering and horticultural feat of ancient Babylon, in which supposedly there were tiers of vegetation and fruit-bearing trees and bushes that were hanging over parts of the city. I will say there are a lot of ancient historians, antiquarians who are convinced that this is apocryphal, that there's no contemporaneous source which actually refers to them as being one of the wonders of the ancient world, and it's only later authors that begin to perpetuate that narrative. Whether they were real or not, I suppose my estimation, if there is some connection to the title of this song, that we're speaking metaphorically or figuratively, at the very least it suggests a very dramatic, even fantastical type of image. I do wonder, on an album that seems to be as dark as this one, and as dark as people have mentioned it is, what that connection could be, or what that metaphor might be. I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is The Cure, the track is The Hanging Garden, and it's from their 1982 album Pornography. Also like a spaghetti western kind of tune.
In the hanging garden.
intense. The way it was sort of incredibly dark and percussive and cyclical, it made me think of a Susie and the Banshees tune. And I am aware at this point that there was a time where Robert Smith was performing with them, I think officially a member of the group. Either way, as I said, it reminded me of Budgie's cyclical and very intense drumming and the heaviness of what seemed like the lyrics and the themes could very well have been a Susie and the Banshees track. In any case, lines about kissing in the garden and then receding in like shapeless in the dark, so maybe you don't quite know what's there, and there was a reference to like a dream, so maybe there's some ambiguity as to what's happening or whether experience is real or part of a dream. The halo and the moon, so there's a reference to the sky, and there was a part about like falling from the sky. And I do, like, in that section, or in both times those falling lines came around, there was a follow-up that was one of those long extensions where Smith like breaks the rhythmic structure of the track to like extend through the rhythms as you might normally deliver the lines. I really enjoy when he does that, and that stood out in this one as well. But yes, animals first like kissing and then crying and then dying. So there seems to be a sequence that goes from a more positive or emotional engagement on the part of these animals to then crying and dying. But then there was a part about like masks and furs, which humans can wear furs, they can wear masks, and I wondered, like, wait, are these animals, which, humans are mammals and primates, so if we're those things, then we are definitely animals as well. So I wondered if the animals are in fact humans. I wondered, falling and the concept of a garden to begin with, if like, you're hanging up and then you fall, maybe like falling from grace, and I wondered if, there were some like even scriptural type references going on here, which I suppose that would fit more with the album Faith. But either way, it feels like there's a downfall in a like figurative and literal sense, and a darkness if we're going from animals kissing and dreaming to crying and then dying. But I don't know where the masks and the furs fit in, and whether that's all essentially referring to human behavior, or maybe even human animals behaving in a way that's causing non-human animals to cry and die. I feel like there's a lot of ambiguity based on the lines that I picked up, but ultimately it doesn't sound like a joyful conclusion of whatever narrative or image is being presented, and I don't quite know how the halo and the moon fits in. But yes, the drums, very much the driver of the track sonically, just constantly churning and rapid firing. There was a very like rapid fire guitar work in there as well, so I enjoyed that. And yes, it just had a heaviness and a darkness to it despite being energetic. So yeah, ultimately I'm curious to hear what people have to say about this one. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Peace.